So this is using the iSplit application to create 3 different panels. So we'll open up this job, rotate it. So it's 14. We're going to print this on the 8.5 by 17 sheet size. So this means that we can run this up to at least a 16-inch height. So we're 18 by 16 size. So now we want to find the area for the left side, making sure that we're in the size range that we can print. So this gives us probably a pretty good path that the that the split can follow. So let's split this. We're going to run this on a dark garment. And that looks pretty good. So we'll save this. Now instead of saving it as a PDF file, we're going to save 2 PNGs. So the left and the right. So after splitting, it then refreshes the list on the left so everything shows up. And here's our left side image, which we're going to keep. The right side image, which we're going to then split a second time. So again, we want to find an area where we can make the split occur. So that we've got some areas where we can find a path through and split again for dark garment. So that looks good. So let's save this, and this time we can save it as a 2-page PDF file, no problem. So this will give us 1 PNG and 1 PDF. So these are now ready to be loaded into the RIP and output. So now we're going to load our job into the RIP. We want to make sure we have our page size set up for the letter XL 8.5 by 17. We'll click load file, and we are looking for Tasmanian Devil. We'll start by loading the left image, and so there's our left image. Then I'm going to go ahead and load in the right side images as well. So here's my left side, here's my middle, and the right side images. So we'll start with our left side. And we can go in and we can check our background color with this. See, we've got everything we're looking for. The white channel, and we want to make sure we turn on the preserve partial transparency so that it records the partial transparency. Also, typically we want to pull back the white by 1 or 2 pixels just to choke it back just a bit. And then we're going to use this screening as a mask for dark media, because we want to use the pull out the black function, because we split the design with the idea of doing it for dark media using a shadow tolerance value. I'm running a fairly high line screen, so we've got a nice full coverage of dots, and Euclidean 5250. I'm going to run this to transparency. I've run a few jobs to calculate where the centering is. Since these designs pretty much fill up our sheet, we want to make sure that it's hitting in the center. So I've tested this, and a -5 on my particular printer is what's needed in millimeters to slide the image over enough so that it does in fact center in the actual print. And so now we will print this. We will go to the right side pages and do the same thing with the other 2 sheets. Again, we can check our substrate color, underneath color. Make sure everything looks the way we think it should. Turn on our partial transparency. Again, 2 pixels of underfilling of the white. Same settings. We want to make sure we're always using exactly the same settings for every print in a sequence. We go back and print the 3rd sheet of the set, and we can check our background color. Control the white, partial transparency, 2 pixels of pullback. Again, exactly the same settings, and print. Hi, this is David. So we've taken this extra large design in the iSplit application, and we have divided it up into these 3 prints. We've printed these on the 8.5 by 17 sheet size, which is a media size that will work with any of the white toner printers. So everything from the small 711 WT and up can print this size of media. So this is the idea behind this. We're creating, a design that's going to work with these extra large or triple extra large or 4XL shirts, and there's significant demand for that, especially here in the United States. I mean, they make us bigger over here, and this is one of the areas that the white toner printer has really kind of failed in, because limited to the 11 by 17 size of even the big printers, really is not enough to create a design that works in these extra large shirt sizes. Well, now with the iSplit application, we've created a design that will work on these extra large garments even with the small printer. So let's get started producing these and see what we get. What I want to do here is see if there's a way that I can save a little time and actually do a couple of these at once. And this should work out fine for me. So I'll put these 2 together, and I'll put these 2 together. And I'll cover these with my parchment sheet. So we're running 305 is our temperature, medium high pressure for 2 minutes. So medium high pressure, 2 minutes, and I'm pressing 2 sheets at once to save a little bit of time. Okay, so 2 minutes of pressing time. We keep one of the sheets covered while we peel the first one. Just to keep it hot. And then we peel the second one right away. All right, so there's the first 2, and then we've got one more here. And we can run this one for less time, 90 seconds for that size. That's fine. Okay, 90 seconds, sufficient for this media size. Alrighty, so there's our 3 pieces, and we trim the edges on all of these. Okay, so we finished making our design. We've got 3 pieces that we're working with. What I want to do is I actually want to start with the middle piece. So I'm going to put the middle piece on first so that to save time, I can come back and add the top and the bottom in one step. So I have my shirt here. And I want to use all of my pieces to build up the design so that I get the right positioning for everything. Just to make sure that everything is in the right location and we've got the right angle and position on the shirt. That actually looks pretty good. So from here, I'm going to take off the top piece and the bottom piece. And we're going to tack on the middle piece first. So we hit that with a little bit of pressure, press it in, and then back off a little bit as it heats up. We're running this for about 15 seconds, just to sort of stick it on 15-20 seconds to get it attached to the garment. And then this is a cold peel. Get the heat out of it. Now in production, we just throw these to the side and come back to them and, do them in steps. I have my little piece of guardrail that does a great job of pulling the heat out. Put it on a metal table works. Variety of ways of cooling it down. So once it cools, then we want to find a spot where we can get a good start on it. And we want to do a nice tight roll to get it to release entirely. All right, so there we go. Okay, so this is the middle part of our design. Now, if we've done this correctly, we can come back and add both of the other pieces at once. We switch over to our best pair of glasses for those of us with the aging eyes. And we position this in. So I'm going to pull this over a little bit because I want as much of this on the heat press. This part of the design is right to the edge of what my heat press can do, literally. All right, and then the top piece. Okay, so that lines up everything, top and bottom. Cover this with a piece of parchment. And I'm going to press this with light pressure. Alright, so there's everything in. And one of the other things I'm going to do with this, so all of this is on. This goes out to the very edge of the heat press. So I'm going to take this design and turn it sideways and just put this piece back on. All right, so I'm putting this piece back on, and what I want to do is, again, light pressure. All right, so now we have another cold peel. And a good spot to start your rolling from. Keeping it really as flat as you possibly can. Okay, so some of this is not peeling correctly. That's fine. I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to put it back in and hit it again with a little bit more pressure and time, just to make sure that everything is properly bonded. We want to make sure it's all lined up back where it needs to be. And repress it. Get a nice corner, and we want to tightly roll away the design. Shearing it away. Get a nice complete peel this time. That's good. And then the same for the other side. Nice tight roll. All right. Nice complete transfer. So now here's our design, middle piece, top, bottom. So we want to press this one more time. Actually, we may have to press this 2 more times because it doesn't all fit on the heat press. We want to get as much of it on as we can so that we get the main part of the design pressed in, and then we will come back and get the edges. So we know now we go to high pressure, and we're pressing this high pressure for about 30 seconds. So what we're doing now is we want to really press the design into the shirt. So this is going to meld together these edges. It's really going to embed it into the shirt so it has the look of a single print design. You won't be able to see any of the edges. So 30 seconds, high pressure for whatever your heat is. Now remember, the heat on this is depending upon your garment type. So we could use any of a variety of temperatures depending on the type of the garment. So that looks beautiful. You really can't see any of the edges. A couple of pieces here along the edge. So what I want to do is I just want to turn it around this way just to get those bits pressed in nicely. One more time. Since it's just little pieces, and I don't want to put a crease on it, I'm just going to press those for a few seconds, medium, light pressure, just to get those tiny little edges, pressed in. And there we have it. So we've made what is this shirt? This is a 2XL shirt, 2XL size. And here's a beautiful design, really fills out this shirt nicely. So this is the kind of thing that, somebody, one of us bigger guys, would love to have, is a nice design that fills out the full of the shirt instead of just some small, tiny design in the middle, of a big shirt. And this design it's larger than the heat press. It's larger than any of the white toners can print, but this was done, using a media size, the 8.5 by 17, that can work with any of the white toner printers. Beautiful design, very sellable. So what's our cost on this? Let's talk about that for just a second. And what's the cost and what's the value? So we've produced a super large design on a super large shirt size, and this is certainly something that doesn't have a lot of competition in the marketplace. We used 3 sheets of the 8.5 by 17 media size. Retail pricing on that, of course, varies in the market. I think maybe the average on that is a little under $3 a piece. So let's say that we've got $9 worth of media, a couple of dollars for the shirt. So we're looking at, $11. And, when you're talking about one-of designs for these extra large guys, this is something that can easily bring a very premium price to it. The only alternative option for something like this, this is, is frankly, it's even bigger than some of these DTG machines can do. So this would be a piece of art that could fetch a very nice price. So this gives you the ability, using even these small printers, to be able to produce super large size garments. David Lewis, thank you for your time.